Welcome to Sun City News. I'm your host, Norma Taylor, and here are some of the stories we have on the agenda for this week. We welcome back Kaylee Vaughn from the Morris Center to our studio. Georgia Lash met with author Bob Durst before his recent Meet the Author event. And later in the program, our news crew was at the Rivergrass Cheeseburger in Paradise party. Sun City News starts now.
This is Sun City News, with our news team bringing you stories from Sun City and the Low Country, taking the lead with entertainment news. And on deck is our sports report. Sun City News, from people you know, about people you know. This week's SCTV News starts now.
We are pleased to have Kaylee Vaughn, Director of Exhibitions and Programs at the Morris Center for Low Country Heritage, in our studio today. Well, welcome back to Sun City News, Kaylee.
Thank you so much for having me. Always glad to come here.
We're always glad to have you. So, the Morris Center. What exhibitions are on view now at the center?
So currently we have 2 traveling exhibits that people can come see. Our newest exhibit that opened at the beginning of the year is Linked by Colin Quashie, and this is an art exhibit. He's a Charleston-based artist, and he plays around with photography and historical imagery to talk about stereotypes and like the African-American experience. And that's going to be on view until the beginning of next year, so we have plenty of time for folks to come and see that. We also have the Language of Clay Catawba Ending Pottery exhibit on view, and that's actually closing on June 14th. So for folks who want to come see it, now's the time to do that. And it's been a great exhibit to have. We are able to educate the Low Country community about this very old art form, the oldest art form in North America, from the Catawba Nation, which is up in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So like I said, now's the time to come see it before it closes on June 14th. And then on July 12th, we're opening our next exhibit, which will be focusing on the history and archaeology of Fort Mott, a Revolutionary War site up in Calhoun County, which is in the Midlands. But what's great about this exhibit is we got money from a grant for the South Carolina 250 Commission. And with that money, we were able to include some history about our local Revolutionary War sites here in the Jasper County area, for example. So we're going to have artifacts on view from Purrysburg, which there was a battle there, as well as Old House Plantation, which was the childhood home of Thomas Hayward Jr., one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, who was from Jasper County. So we're excited about that exhibit for folks to learn a little bit more about the Revolutionary War history of South Carolina and the Low Country. So those are our 2 traveling exhibits and what we have coming up. Of course, we always have the Battle of Honey Hill, and we also have our Revolutionary War panel that's always on view.
Okay, it sounds like you're packed. You're absolutely packed. But you also have creative workshops. So what's available this summer?
Yeah, so we love being able to expose our community to a lot of fun, creative avenues. So we have a glass making workshop, glass mosaic workshop this Saturday. And so for folks who might want to partake in that, they can sign up. I don't think we have many spots left, but if not, we actually still have a couple more that will happen through the end of the year. I believe there's one in August, and there's definitely one in November, so you can check out anything that we have in the future is already on our website, on our calendar. And then on June 28th, we're having our Lino Cuts printmaking workshop with Ian Welch. And so if you are not familiar with printmaking, he walks you through the entire process of creating your own linoleum cut block, and you can print it. You get to print it there, but then you also get to take it home, and you can print it as many times as you want to, which is really fun. So we have, like I said, a lot of fun ways for folks to be creative.
You've got a lot of information, Kaylee. I don't know how you remember all that stuff. You are absolutely amazing, and we love having you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Reporter Georgia Lash follows up with author Bob Durst upon his return for a second Meet the Author appearance.
Bob, it is so good to see you back here in Sun City with your book, Funny, I Don't Remember Any Good Dope Days. And it's a repeat visit for you, but it will be new to some of our viewers. So tell us the premise of this intriguing book.
It's a chronicle of my several years of working as a chaplain in a county jail where I worked primarily with homeless and addicted people.
Now, you did this prison chaplain experience as a retiree, and it's a little bit of a backstory. How did you get into that? Because most of us don't retire with the idea of becoming a prison chaplain.
My wife and I were led to found a nonprofit that serviced homeless men and women. We took meals to them, we took toilet articles to them, we took tents, blankets, and so forth. And as an outgrowth of that, I was asked to go visit a couple of the men when they were in jail. And one thing led to another, and pretty soon I was talking to a group of wonderful young ladies and men who were addicts.
Now, there's so much to be told about just even the way you got the title of the book, and it came from a poem that was given to you rather almost mysteriously, but it helped to influence you. And what were some of the influences that came with that?
Delaney Farrell wrote the poem. She's deceased. I never met her. She lived in Pennsylvania. I was in Florida. How the poem got to my office in Florida, I have no clue, but it did. It influenced me because it gave me, for the first time, a real insight into the life, mind, feelings, and thoughts of an addict. And what I learned from that is, guess what, Georgia? They think the same thoughts you and I think. They suffer the same embarrassments and hurts and pain, and there's not a one of them wants to continue to be an addict.
Now, with all the stories that you tell in the book, it's interesting that at the conclusion of this book, you mentioned to two of your successful inmates you worked with that are now thriving, that you thought about, this might be a good story, and they asked you, what would it look like? And you used the line, I want the readers to see your faces as I saw them.
Yes.
That's important because often we don't understand. There's some blind spots I think we have. We
Yes.
don't understand the difficulty. Is there any way that we can overcome that?
I was guilty of the biggest blind spots. Just stop using drugs. You won't be an addict. Just stop using drugs. And we generalize. We do that across the board. It seems to be a part of our DNA. We generalize ethnic groups. We generalize racial groups. We generalize age groups. And we generalize addicts. Well, if they want to get straight, just get straight. Stop using drugs. Well, there's a whole lot more there than that. Most of these people, not all, but a lot of them have been badly damaged as children. They've been badly damaged as adolescents. They've made some horrible judgments in life. It's not so easy.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us on our Sun City News. And everyone, you need to tune in to our July episode of Meet the Author, where Bob gives us a little bit more in-depth look and shares so many beautiful stories that really need to be told.
Still more to come. Georgia Lash delivers part 2 of her talk with Dr. Heidi Harrington about Mohs surgery. We get a preview of what's coming up on In Our Neighborhoods. And we have info on hurricane preparedness, so stay with us. We'll return after this brief break.
And we have 4 different events this year for our June
Ion,
events. Kathy, you want to share what they are?
Yeah, so we have a Cinco de Mayo, and that is the Village Green neighborhood.
Okay. Then we have an Ocho de Mayo.
Right, and that's a Whispering Oaks
Okay.
neighborhood.
And you guys figure out why you think one's Cinco and one's Ocho. I bet you can figure it out.
Yeah. And after that, we have 2 events at River Bend, and one is an ice cream social, and that
Okay.
was Stratford Village.
Oh, great. Southside
And then
neighborhood.
tell
and
about
stuff.
the
Oh my gosh. Then we have a whole new neighborhood, Coffee Run, which is Sun City West. And so you get to have an introduction and tell this new,
find out the new
neighborhood and
neighbors.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys watch.
All right, stay tuned.
Continuing our Beaufort Memorial Medical Report on Mohs surgery, Dr. Harrington addresses patients' concerns and questions.
Welcome back, Dr. Harrington. Now, the last time we sat together, we'll call that part 1. You explained very thoroughly Mohs surgery and post-Mohs reconstructive surgery. But let's move on to the Mohs patient experience. So let me kind of take that role on. If I've been diagnosed with skin cancer on my face, When should I begin talking with the plastic surgeon?
Yeah, so, my recommendation would be before you have the skin cancer removed. That's the time to meet with me to talk about the options, and then we can coordinate. I can coordinate with the Mohs surgeon that will remove the cancer, and then I've scheduled to do the reconstructive surgery, do the closure afterward, so we can coordinate together.
Now, as a patient, how should I prepare for surgery?
Yeah, I would say that it really depends a bit on, that's why meeting with me beforehand is helpful, because, I see quite a range of defects that would be resulting after a skin cancer is removed. So someone might be having a reconstruction with me that's just as simple as we're doing it in the office, a little numbing medication. But other patients, unfortunately their cancer is a bit more involved or involving a more specialized area of the face that requires me to do the surgery maybe with a little sedation. And so we have that discussion completely prior to the skin cancer removal so people are prepared.
Well, we're talking about how you're fixing everything, but on a broader scale as a plastic surgeon. Are there some tips that you can share to minimize some of the sun damage? And probably we needed this decades ago
Yes,
to follow your advice, but what would that be?
And I agree myself even, we just didn't know. We didn't know that sun was dangerous back when I was growing up, for sure. So I think, the most best ways what we can do to limit our risk of skin cancer would be limiting sun exposure, which is tough here. I mean, I moved down here from New England for the sun, right? So I understand the challenges. But I think it doesn't mean that you can't be outside. It means that, between the times of, say, even 10 and 4, we really should be trying to wear a hat that covers up sunglasses, a sunblock, either, a sunblock that's broad spectrum and something that you reapply after 2 hours. That's where people kind of miss the mark, is they say, well, I put it on this morning, it's 8 hours later, so it stopped working about 2 hours after you put it on. So while it seems like a lot to people, I think with just developing the habits of just applying sunblock, having it in your bag, wearing a hat, very small things that can make a big difference. I think the other piece that's very important is that we're noticing what's happening to ourselves, noticing our body and looking at our skin, self-exams, any area of anywhere in your body where there's a wound or bleeding or something that looks abnormal, if it doesn't resolve within 3 weeks, I think that's always a good, good little quick tip. That's not perfect, but it definitely catches most things. If it doesn't heal or go away in 3 weeks, you should have it looked at. I think between those two things and then having a dermatologist, if you're considered high risk, that you see once a year is really important.
Well, thank you once again for coming in and sharing medical expertise. We're going to invite you back. We're going to talk about another topic.
Happy to join you.
Co-host Kathy Ricardo is in the studio to talk about what's coming up on In Our Neighborhoods in June. All right, Kathy, always great to have you here and talk about In Our Neighborhoods, which we call ION. So tell us, what did In Our Neighborhoods cover for the June segment?
Yeah, to start, the pavilion was the venue of choice. And we're going to start with Village Green, and they had a Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Well, tell us about this event. That's usually a raucous
Yeah,
kind of
it
a
really
thing.
is. They served Mexican food, but then they did a Zumba demonstration. It was a lot of fun to watch because there were people who participated and those that just watched.
Well, some of us cannot always participate.
Yeah, it was fun.
So what else was at the pavilion?
Next up was Whispering Oaks neighborhood, and they had a Cinco de Ocho.
Okay, Ocho is 8. And
Yeah.
So
They couldn't
Cinco-
get the pavilion on the 5th, so they had it on the 8th, and it was just as much fun. And not only did they have like that Mexican theme, but they also had donations that went to St. Stephen's. So it was a nice event.
Oh, that's very,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. What other events are you going to talk about?
So towards the end of May, things started getting hotter, so the venue changed, and then everybody went to Riverbend, which is always fun. That is nice. And first off was the Stratford Village, and they had an ice cream social. And of course, that's right up my alley. It's all about the desserts. So they had some games and prizes, and it was a lot of fun. And then the last event that we covered was the Coffee Run Memorial Day Cookout. And what's unique about this is that they're from Sun City West. And I'm glad to see one of the newer neighborhoods were represented. And they had flags, they put out games, they were so well organized. The women organized, the men were the chefs, and it was a lot of fun. They did a touching address to the neighborhood about Memorial Day. So it was all in all, it was a great month, a lot of fun.
Well, it sounds like you've got a lot covered in the June issue.
Yeah, it is. I'm excited for everybody to see.
Well, it kept you busy, and I'm sure we'll get you back here when we hear about July.
Yes.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
The 2025 hurricane season began on Sunday, June 1st. Now, over the years, Beaufort County has faced hurricane threats from Hurricane Matthew, Tropical Storm Irma, Hurricane Florence, Hurricane Michael, Hurricane Dorian, Hurricane Helene, and Hurricane Milton, to name just a few. This recent history makes it all the more important for county residents to stay informed and make preparations ahead of a potential storm. This is a good reminder for longtime residents and serves as vital information for all the new county residents. Visit South Carolina Emergency Management Division's information page, hurricane.sc. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office Emergency Management Division leads the county's response to natural disasters and will be the primary source of local information when a storm threatens. Now, after a storm has passed, operations then shift to the Beaufort County Disaster Recovery. Two important weather sites to bookmark ahead of time are National Hurricane Center. The NHC will provide regular updates on the hurricane's potential timing, path, wind speeds, and storm surge. The second is the National Weather Service. The NWS in Charleston provides more location-specific forecasts for potential flooding and wind speeds. Now, things to consider if an evacuation order is issued. If staying with family or friends who live inland is an option for you, it is a good idea to make those arrangements ahead of time. Now, if you intend to use a public shelter, the locations of which are outside Beaufort County and will be announced once an evacuation has been ordered, make plans to evacuate early. And if you are evacuating with pets, be sure to check and make sure the shelter is pet friendly. Plan to pack a pet evacuation go bag, including crate, bed, leash, food, water, bowls, and necessary medicine. Still much more ahead on Sun City News. Randy Selman's here with an entertainment report. Martha Spiso attended Rivergrass's Cheeseburger in Paradise party. And JoJo Hines has a sports report. So make sure you come on back.
We don't want to brag, but gotta say the June episode of Extra is special.
And we've got some hot stories like Hilton Head's beach parking and beach replenishment plans.
Now we spotlight our special events like Earth Day and the All About Art Club Spring Show.
And we dive into the story of what makes our Sun City swim team successful.
Cable viewers, please check our program listings on the Sun City website. And most conveniently, you can always catch us on our YouTube station, where we invite you to subscribe for easy viewing.
Let's head over to Randy Selman for some entertainment news.
Although summer officially begins on June 20th, the summer's theater lineup is in full bloom. Right here in Sun City, the musical comedy Murders of 1940 opens on June 12th and runs through the 15th. As Sensations magazine describes it, this is an over-the-top murder mystery with outrageous characters and weapons galore and witty one-liners that will drive the audience wild. Grab your tickets while there is still time. If you want Broadway caliber theater, the celebrated Southeastern Summer Theater will be presenting the award-winning musical 9 to 5. Written by Dolly Parton, this is a cult classic musical starring young actors from around the country and beyond. Under the tutelage of Ben Wolfe, you will be under its spell from the time the curtain goes up until the final bows. The show will open on June 20th and runs for 2 weekends. For more information about tickets and times, call 866-749-2228. More about the summer theater in the weeks to come. If the grandkids are visiting or you just like a fun off-the-wall theater experience, the Main Stage Theater is presenting Shrek the Musical. This stage adaptation of the blockbuster movie is of the same name will have you rolling in laughter. The musical opens at Main Street Theater on Hilton Head on the 19th and runs through 3 weekends. For more information about tickets and performances, call the box office at 843-689-6246. A couple of other great theater experiences to look forward to are the Art Center of Coastal Carolina's summer sensation, Summer, the Donna Summer Musical. The show features 20 hit songs including Love to Love You Baby, Last Dance, MacArthur Park, and all the other Donna Summer's Billboard-crushing hits. Tickets are now on sale at the box office or by calling 843-842-2787. Mention that you live in Sun City and receive a $5 discount. One last opening that you won't want to miss is Sun City's summer play in Pinckney Hall, The Cemetery Club, opening Thursday, July 24th. This poignant, laugh-out-loud, tear-provoking play follows the lives of 3 women after the loss of their husbands and how friendship, new love, and strong bonds tie them together and helps them navigate through life. It's a play that you won't want to miss. Tickets go on sale on June 16th and can be purchased at the Magnolia Hall box office. I'm Randy Selman, and that's your entertainment report. Remember, life is entertaining, so don't miss the show.
Reporter Martha Spiso attended the Rivergrass Neighborhood for their Cheeseburger in Paradise party held on June 1st. Among others, she spoke with Ray Humberger, the Rivergrass Neighborhood representative.
Hello, we're here at Al's, right on our campus near the lake house, having a wonderful Cheeseburger in Paradise party. We have had some wonderful creative people on the committee. Sherry Bowlby and Roger Bowlby have been instrumental in doing the decorations, which are fantastic. So Sherry, what inspired you to do these decorations?
Well, Cheeseburger in Paradise, it just naturally comes, Jimmy Buffett comes to mind. So of course it's got to be a Jimmy Buffett theme. And everything that is decorated is handmade. It costs very little. And we just wanted to add lots of color and make it just a fun event.
It is beautiful. I think you met your goal.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have some fun events here today, as well as some wonderful food. Tell us about the food we're going to have.
Well, people in the neighborhood have contributed desserts and appetizers, and then we've got cheeseburgers coming from
Jameson's.
Jameson's, yes.
Yeah. So it's exciting. It's a neighborhood event that involved a lot of coordination and a lot of people contributing, as well as catered, just
That's
a little
right.
bit catered. Yeah. Are there any games planned for today?
There's a few. We have a giant goblet over here. Would you go get the goblet? And it's filled with wine corks and homemade flowers. And the contest is to guess how many corks are in the goblet. And then we're going to fill it up with champagne at the end. No, I'm kidding.
I know. Sherry and Roger created that one as well. So it's very, very, a lot of talent and a lot of thought went into this party.
Absolutely.
And the weather has been perfect for us.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yeah, so we feel very lucky. Okay, well, Ray, what does it mean to you to have us all gather for this wonderful event today?
I have to tell you, it's great to get the neighborhood together. We do this about 8 times a year, and it's one time where you get to meet the neighbors that you might not see each and every day. So it's great to share the camaraderie, share a meal together, and just have a good time.
Wonderful, wonderful. We have a great neighborhood, and Ray keeps us all together. Thank you so much, and let's have fun.
You bet.
Okay.
Thank you, Martha.
Now it's here JoJo Hines with the Sports Report.
Hello, sports fans. Sun City is truly a unique mecca for all sports enthusiasts. In addition to the well-known sports, we have sports for all different groups of interest. We recently caught up with one such group that inspire to play putt-putt golf. Let's take a look at one such group.
I'm here with Andy Horner, the coordinator of the OKT Putters group. And they are here at this hidden gem in Sun City, the putt-putt course, which sits behind the tennis courts on the south side. And Andy, tell me a little bit about your group. Like, when did you get started, and how much fun do you guys have?
Oh, we have a lot of fun. We started 9 years ago. It's a free event. All you need is a putter and a golf ball. We do keep score. It's a 9-hole putting course, as you can see. We go around twice. Every time somebody gets a one putt, it's not a hole in one, a one putt, I blow my whistle. And we just have fun. We have about 30 women all together. Usually 20 show up. This is a little bit low. We want to thank Golf Course Maintenance for taking care of this course because they've done a good job. They come over every Monday when it's closed. We also have about 6 or 7 other groups that putt here. There's supposedly even a men's group, but they're a little loosey-goosey. So that's about it.
And you said you have 30 people in your group?
Yes, there's 30, but we never get more than 20. And often in this fall, somebody signs up and then can't come, which is understandable. I mean, there's no commitment. You show up, you putt.
And are you here an hour, 2 hours? How long are you here during the day?
Yeah, it takes just 1 hour to go around twice. There have been times when it's too cold or too hot, and we've only putted 9 holes. By mutual agreement, we stop. Okay. We also have a lot of fun events. We do crazy putting, where we put a lot of obstacles down on the course. We have a picnic every summer at Lake Somerset when we give out awards. And we also dress up for the holidays. St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter. We wear crazy sweaters or hats or something. So it's just a lot of fun.
Is today a crazy day?
No, crazy day is May 15th.
Oh, okay. So it's only one day. It's May 15th. Okay, well, I guess we don't hear the word "for" too often here at this course.
No. Speaking of 4, we do limit our putts to 3. They used to be 4, but it got a little frustrating for some of the ladies. So 3 putts, you can pick up your ball and leave.
Well, I can tell you this does not look like an easy course. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit tough today. It's a little humid. Sun's coming out. So good luck. And we're going to stick around and take some pictures and show you guys playing.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now that looked like a lot of fun. And we have the winners of the 2025 Spring Horseshoe Tournament. And they are Renee Mayer, Ted Brandt, Mike Principe, Frank Radicasa, Ron Archer, Dave Griffiths, Phil Shalala, and Tom Burich. It should be noted that Dave Griffiths has come in first place the last 4 tournaments and is 97 years old. Now that really goes to show you you're never too old to try a new sport. So get out there and give one a try. JoJo Hines for Sun City Sports.
Well, that's our news for this week. Thank you for watching. Catch us on cable and on our YouTube station, where we invite you to click like and subscribe. And to see expanded coverage of some of our SCTV stories, tune into our monthly show Extra. And if you have questions and comments, email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com. But make sure you check in with us next week for all the news that's in your neighborhood. For Sun City News, I'm Norma Taylor.